Thank you for joining us here at Deep Reasoning with Nas, where we get into the meat of the matter. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us. Good evening and welcome to Deep Reasoning with Nas. This is Nas. We're coming to you this evening to speak about Dr. Dayton Campbell and the recent allegations being brought against him by Karen Cross and her two co-defendants in a lawsuit filed by Dr. Dayton Campbell defending himself against these allegations that are being brought against him. Now, these allegations are extremely serious allegations. If someone is making an allegation against you that you behaved inappropriately sexually towards minors, it's a serious allegation, very serious, on many fronts. Number one, the position that Dr. Campbell holds suggests that he should be an upstanding citizen and someone that people should be able to look up to, not only just for advice, but in general, look up to him as an upstanding citizen. Someone who is serving the country in one of the political parties that lead the nation. Someone who serves the community as a physician, and someone who is also trained, I learned recently, as an attorney as well. So this is someone who would have an extremely large amount of things at stake if he should be found guilty of such an act. I am not here to defend or condemn him. I am just here to say what is available to the public in the news media and through social media as well. Now, responsible media houses have the responsibility of only disseminating information into the public that is accurate and that can be at any point verified. The mainstream media houses have not suggested in any way that Dr. Dayton Campbell is guilty of what he's been accused. All they have done is that conveyed information to the public as to what is being said about him and the information that is available to them in writing that anybody in Jamaica can search in the public record and find. Dr. Dayton Campbell is being accused of behaving inappropriately sexually towards young girls who were under the age of consent at the time. Under the age of consent means, in Jamaica, I believe the age of consent is 16 years old. This means before a child is 16 years old, they are not legally able to consent to sexual activity with someone of any age, but generally speaking, someone who is older than the age of consent. They are not in a position to make that decision on their own by law. The law provides for minors, to protect minors from sexual predators, that they have to be at a certain age before they can consensually have sex legally. So, the allegations being brought against Dr. Dayton Campbell were brought against him before April of this year, to my knowledge. And the Jamaica Constabulary Force ended their investigation in April, to be exact on April 18th of 2021, for the lack of evidence being produced by the person bringing the allegations against Mr. Campbell. When the Jamaica Constabulary Force contacted Mrs. Cross to get information as to whom they can contact that is making these allegations, she was unable at that time to produce names of individuals. She was unable to produce names of individuals on April 18th, yet a few days later than a month later, she was able to produce signed statements from 3 individuals who are alleging to have been involved with Mr. Campbell under the age of 15. This to me look kind of shaky, but that's just me. I'm not an investigator, I'm not a legal professional, but to me, just from a common man's standpoint, look kind of weird to me. Mr. Campbell has retained an attorney to defend himself against these allegations. It does get tricky when you enter into a court system. It does get tricky when someone is making an allegation against you and is claiming to have proof of these allegations. Whether or not Mr. Campbell is guilty, I'm going to keep repeating throughout the video. I am not here to say if he's guilty or not. I am not here to defend nor condemn Mr. Campbell. I am simply here to give my reasoning on the matter. My name is Nas, and I'll be right back. Yeah, so let's have a serious conversation now as to whether or not Sir Dayton Campbell, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is guilty of what he is being accused of. The answer to that, the short answer to that right now is no one knows. No one can make that assertion right now that he's guilty, and no one should be saying he's not guilty at this point. Someone has made the effort to bring an allegation against Dayton Campbell, saying that he did something that is heinous, something that is extremely serious, something that the law takes so seriously that they created their own separate investigation detachment from the law, the Center for Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse, CISOCA. There's a separate entity in the legal system that investigates these particular crimes because of the level of seriousness behind them. So with that being the case, if she is indeed pointing out something that was brought to her attention, she is actually following the law. Now, the issue at hand is that this young lady has an apparent motive in such a fashion that she and her co-accused actually prepared a resignation letter for Dr. Dayton Campbell, saying, if you sign this resignation and quit the job, then all of quote unquote this will go away. Meaning they would have been willing to cover up an alleged crime if Dayton Campbell was willing to step aside. Does this point to you what their real interest is? The real interest does not sound to be in the favor of young ladies who are being sexually abused. Their interest appears to be in favor of asking Dr. Dayton Campbell to step aside. Now, had he signed the resignation and stepped aside and satisfied what they are trying to achieve, then we may not have heard of these allegations, whether they be true or not. So, to me, that is the establishment that there is an actual motive behind trying to bring this information forward, whether it be true or not. No. So, April 18th, today is May the 30th. So, April 18th to May 30th, little over a month. A month ago, the Jamaica Constabulary Force was forced to close the case for lack of evidence when the said young lady who is making these reports and allegations was unable to produce names of individuals who are making the claims that Dr. Dayton Campbell had had sexual relations with them, and it went on for a period of time until the JCF decided to close the case. No evidence. So now, within a month and a half, now because she's being sued, and know that there is more at stake than just her not finding Dayton Campbell guilty, now that she has more things at stake, we are now finding that there are 3, if not more, individuals who he has had sexual encounters with under the age of consent. I'm not going to say whether or not I believe it. That's going to be my personal opinion. But the fact remains, this information has not been evaluated and has not been determined to be actually real. In other words, the evidence has not yet been substantiated. And whether or not it will be substantiated, we don't know. We have to allow time for these investigators to go through, do their jobs, and find whether or not this information that is floating around about this gentleman is true or not. No. I don't have a position on Dayton Campbell himself. I don't know him personally. I know he's a politician. He appears to be a well-respected member of the community who has done a lot to build our nation. So, for that, hats off to him. If, for any reason, these events unfold that Dayton Campbell did indeed look at a child who is underage and feel some form of adult arousal from looking at this child, then we will have to deem and determine at that point that this gentleman has a very sick mind and is to be punished by the fullest extent of the law. Fullest extent of the law. Now, if the investigations find that these allegations are made up and are fraud and are frivolous, malicious, and it is found that these allegations were brought forth to satisfy an agenda that these young ladies, Miss Cross and her accomplices, have, then I think it would only be fair that whatever the punishment that Dayton Campbell would have faced if found guilty, that they will face those exact same punishments. My name is Nas, and that's my reasoning. Thank you for watching. If you like our content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, and share them with your friends. And also, click the notification bell to be included in our notification group. See you next time. This is Nas.